they're so suicidal that they want to jump off the building. The police comes. By then, their name has been entered into the database. Okay? Alright? So it's very, very important to cast aside this taboo and stigma so that you can actually get the proper help that you need. Okay? Number 6, it will go away by itself.
Stigma.
Alright? So depression will not go away by itself. So it will only return if you actually don't deal with it properly. So clinical depression is actually a fatal disease. It could be a fatal disease like cancer. But you actually don't die from depression. Like my patient like that, don't die from depression, but die from drinking and falling off the balcony. Alright? So a lot of people, they don't die because they're depressed. They die because they actually don't kill themselves. Alright? My youngest suicide patient is 13 years old. That's my youngest suicide patient. Alright? She actually jumped from 9th floor and killed herself while her mother went to the market. Okay? Her mother actually asked her, and they just came back from a holiday, okay? And the mother says, I'm going to just down there 7-Eleven, buy something, do you want to come in? And she says, no, you don't. Alright? And there were no signs. There were no signs that she was going to kill herself that day. Alright? So her mother went to 7-Eleven. By the time the mother came downstairs, there was a group of people underneath her block. So she just went there and looked. It was her mother. And she was only 13 years old. Okay? And why did she pass away? Why did she jump? Because she was a perfectionist. She wanted to do very, very, very well in school. And she didn't do as well as she thought she was going to do. There were a lot of expectations placed on her because she was also a badminton player in the school. Alright, and she was so good that the school said that when she gets better, she may be even the national player and compete nationally. So we put a lot of hope on her because she's the star of the school. And she felt it was too much pressure and she couldn't deal with it. So she jumped from 9th floor. That was my youngest. Yeah? So, and I have other people who have done things to themselves as well. When I was working in Australia, I had a China woman whose husband actually had a stroke. Alright, so he was a sweet man who took care of her all the time. When he had a stroke, he couldn't take care of her anymore. And she had to take care of him. And she couldn't deal with taking care of a man in a wheelchair. So she actually drank, you know the dabao when you buy douhua or doujiang, you know, the small container?
Yes.
She actually drank one small container of bleach. You know what bleach is?
Yeah.
Yeah. She actually drank one container of bleach. She didn't die.
Oh.
But she actually burned her throat and her stomach. So she could no longer eat all the things that she wants to eat. Yeah? So people, some die from it and some suffer for a long time. I have my teenagers, because of depression, they actually feel so painful, they take all kinds of tablets. Okay? Will Panadol kill you? If you take Panadol, will it kill you? A lot will kill you. How fast will it kill you? See, if you take 40 Panadol, how fast will it kill you? 12 hours? Probably. But by then, you will be rescued because, a lot of times, actually it doesn't kill you directly, right? It will give you heart palpitations, you might actually get a heart attack from it, or it will give you liver failure. Now, if it gives you liver failure, most of the time, 40 Panadols will give you liver failure. And you won't die immediately from liver failure. It will take years to die. And you will be in a lot of pain. Okay. So, a lot of my teenagers actually, because they can't get access to other kinds of medication, they go to Guardian Pharmacy or whatever and just buy Panadol. Alright? I can tell you it doesn't kill you. Alright? But you just make you very, very painful. And one of the most painful things that you can experience is having your stomach pumped. Which means they put a tube in. If you actually watch movies, they put a tube in and pump the contents of your stomach out. It's disgusting. Alright? It's painful and it's disgusting. You won't even die. And then the worst thing is other people start watching you because you are a suicide risk. Alright, then you have no more freedom. Okay, so depression will not go away by itself. Yeah, it's a normal part of getting older. So all the old people, your grandma, your granddad, all will be very depressed. It's just a normal part. Every old person will feel depressed. Not true, Not true. Okay? So a lot of people who actually grew up in the 60s where depression is not discussed, they actually feel very ashamed asking for help. But you actually feel the younger people, I actually do have my 50, 60-year-olds.
Maggie, what the heck are you doing?
Grandparents and parents.
Hey, Maggie.
To me and saying, my children have already married and they moved away already, I feel very empty, I feel very depressed. Yeah? I actually do have people coming to me and saying that it's not the normal part of growing old. Normal part of growing old doesn't mean that when you grow old, you feel depressed and you die. Alright, life is not meant to be like that. Yeah? So it's not normal. Depression only affects women. The men in the row in the back won't be affected. Not true. Alright, depression doesn't only affect women, it affects men as well. And I can tell you, every one of you know that there's an economic crisis going on, right? A global economic crisis, right? I can tell you there are a lot of men coming. Alright, because you get very, very stressed. All these members are millions of dollars for your clients. Okay? They all get very depressed. Not just the women. Okay? So don't think that you'll spare because you have extra advantages in your hands. Okay? Depression doesn't affect children or teenagers. Alright? For the teenagers, all of you are teens, or have you grown out of your teens? Are you in your late teens or are you in your early 20s? Early 20s? Oh, so a lot of times people think that, it only affects, adults now, it doesn't affect teenagers or it doesn't affect children. Not true. My youngest depressed person, guess how old? Guess!
2.
Very close. 2.5. 2.5 years old. That's my youngest depressed person. Yeah. Okay?
Because of what?
So, no lah, not so scary stuff, okay? My 2.5-year-old child had symptoms of depression. She didn't know that she had symptoms of depression. Okay? She had symptoms of depression, plus anxiety, because she was involved in a car accident. And she was very, very frightened in the car accident. Alright? And I have a lot of very young patients, ranging from 7 to 13, 14 years old, my younger ones, alright? And certainly a bulk of it are my 16, 17, 18-year-olds and my young adults in their 20s. Okay? So it doesn't only affect adults, it affects children too, alright? It's not a normal part of growing up, okay? All of you have grown up, you are in your 20s, ever? Do you think that it's normal for someone so young? Have you got younger siblings? Do you have younger siblings?
Yes, we do.
Younger sibling? How old is the younger sibling?
7.
7 years old?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not normal, right, for a 7-year-old to feel very depressed and no appetite and talk about dying and say life is meaningless. It's not normal. It's not a normal part of growing up. So if you actually know a young child, who's a teenager and all that, alright, that's talking about dying and life is meaningless, very stressed, cannot eat, cannot sleep, don't want to do anything, it's not normal. Alright? That's a child who is depressed. They may not be as clever as an adult telling you what it feels like. It shows in their behavior, and I can talk a little bit about what they do. If somebody in your family has depression, you will get it. This is not sarcasm.
What'd you say?
Okay? So if somebody in your family has it, not necessarily you will get it. Okay? So it's not transmittable just like that. Alright? It doesn't transmit in the water, urine, and things like that. But just be aware, if you have somebody in your family who has it, there's a chance that you might get it.
Different.
There's a chance. Like I said, Singapore government, if there's some in your family who has it,